All right, folks, welcome back to the More Than Different podcast. It's just me today. It's just me. C-Max at work. He's busy. No guest. We haven't had a pod in a few weeks now, so I figured let's get the show back rolling. It's a good experience for me to get in front of the mic and figure out how I keep talking. So if it's a bad episode, well, we know that C-Max absence is the reason why. If it's a good episode, well, I guess my presence is ain't too bad. So we'll find out. I am done with college. Finished up on last Friday, May 5th. So that's great. Feels good to complete a year. Feels like a sense of accomplishment. It was a long year, lots of highs, lots of lows, but that's how it is. And you navigate them. And I got a long summer, the longest summer of my life. It doesn't really feel like summer, though it's summer right now. It's May. Every other year of my life, I was in school at this point. So still weird adjusting. And I think that's what I noticed is the whole year, not the whole year, but especially in that final month, it's kind of a countdown to, oh, summer. I can't wait till summer. It'll be so nice not have work, to just be back at home, chilling for a bit, get on my own schedule. Well, now here I am 3 days in to being on my own schedule. And I'm saying to myself, maybe it isn't as sweet as I thought it was. So, like everything, the best ability is adaptability. You got to adjust. And that's what I'm doing, trying to figure out a routine, a rhythm, realizing, like we had on one of our guests, Mike Loughnane, a couple times back, I asked him one of the keys to how his best habits, one of his best habits is what I asked him. And what he told me was one of his best habits is that he plans out his day. He knows when he's doing stuff. And I don't do that. I think I have an idea of what my plan was, especially at college, you do. But now I'm forced to do that because I wake up the last 3 days, wake up. I know I want to work out. I know I want to journal. I know I want to do a couple other things, see what I can do with the brand, but you don't really know when they're going to happen. You just kind of play it spontaneously. And I don't like the flow of that. So definitely going to take a page out of Mike's notebook in terms of scheduling my day and being on top of the things I got to do. So that will be a good challenge. And again, like I said, I think I said in a blog a few months back, is that the key in life is to have good problems. Right now, I got some good problems. I got a lot of time and a lot of things that I can allocate the time towards. So I got to figure out how I do that most effectively, how I want to maintain relationships, all those good things. These are all good problems to have. There are a lot worse problems. So you got to put that in perspective. And I'm well aware. So I'm not overly stressed or concerned about the fact that the adjustment from school to the summer maybe wasn't as sweet as I thought it was in terms of being home, not having as much of a rhythm, having to kind of reset, not being around people, kind of in your own head. You're thinking a bit more. No worries. They're all good problems to have. I'll figure it out. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to figuring out my rhythm and getting in a rhythm. Again, it's only been a few days, so it takes some time, especially getting a rhythm with the brand. We've definitely waves of consistency, but then it falls off. And that's been our biggest problem since June 19th will be 4 years since we started. Our biggest problem is just consistency. So this is the summer to really figure it out. The longest summer of my life, and C-Max around somewhat still too. So a lot to figure out. I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of looking forward to, I was looking forward to golfing a lot this summer because I have watched a sickening amount of golf videos since the fall. I don't know how I first got into it, but man, I started watching all these golf channels. Good. Bob Does Sports, a bunch of individual guys watching pro highlights, all types of swing critiques, just down the rabbit hole of golf swings. It is sickening how much I've watched. And that's what I used to do with basketball highlights growing up, watch every little player, every type of scenario. I just don't do that anymore. I swear it all goes into golf. So I could have sworn that when I got on the range the other day, yesterday exactly, I just felt like standing over that ball. The ball has no chance because I've watched all these videos. It felt like it just manifested me becoming Justin Thomas. That was not the case. And so I was looking forward to golfing all summer, getting on the course with the boys, with my uncle, who's a member at some nice places, and just playing golf because it's a blast. I played a ton last summer and I got pretty good. And it is so fun when you can square up a ball, pick up that tee, get in the cart, and just talk about how much of a rocket that was. And then get on the fairway, a little approach shot. Oh, that's just the essence of golf. It's beautiful. It is such a beautiful sport because it's so scenic. You're on these gorgeous courses. But man, it ain't pretty when you're just hitting hosel rockets left and right. And I'll tell you what, I'm at the range yesterday. I stand over those first few balls and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, this feels good. I was gripping a club in my dorm room all year. I brought my 9-iron to school. Boy, I had no chance standing over those balls yesterday. And I was just hitting hosel rockets left and right and up. And oh boy, slice, fade, the whole thing. It was just bad. Hitting the slice, hitting the absolute hug, duck hook. So suddenly I'm not too excited about golfing all summer. I need to work on my game. I got a lot to figure out, a lot to dissect, back to the drawing board. So that's not too exciting, to be quite frank. But I figured out, and my brother, who was pretty bad last summer, and I was just smoking him, C-Mac, has been hitting the range, got a couple lessons over the winter or the fall, played in the fall too. He's pretty good. He's gotten better. So, God, would it suck for him to just be smoking me all summer. Can't let it happen. So I'm going to have to figure out that golf swing because, boy, did my confidence go from 100 to 0 yesterday after getting on that driving range. But upwards and onwards, we'll figure it out. It will be dissected and it will be worked on. And I'll come back to that range and that ball will have no chance. But yesterday I had no chance over that ball. I'll tell you that for free. Other news, we're going to have the MTD tournament back in late August this year. Still pending confirmation, but the plan is August 19th at Duggar Memorial Park in West Medford, same location as last year. That'll be a Saturday, August 19th, 12 to 6, roughly will be the timing of it. Hopefully all college players, some elite high school players. Will be a good run, good community event. We're fired up about it. And it'll be a bit later. C-Mac's going to Alaska with his girlfriend. Don't ask me why he's going to Alaska with his girlfriend in mid-August, but apparently it's beautiful there. So he'll have a blast and he'll come back and we'll have the tourney. So that will be exciting. I look forward to that. Last summer, that was kind of our whole project, was building up toward that goal. I think we started planning around April. So we're a bit behind in that regard, but we kind of know what we need to do this year. So we should be good and it'll be fun to put that together again. And hopefully it culminates in a special event in the end of the summer. And that will conclude a long summer for me. And hopefully we'll send people off to college excited and wrapping up their summer feeling good about how it concluded. That is the plan. Excited about that. Hopefully that'll be a big step for us again. Other news, speaking of basketball, NBA playoffs, Celtics ain't looking good at all. A bit concerned. I think they come back, win 6, gonna win 7. We'll see. Need a big Jason Tatum game last year. That's what he did. Lost game 5 at home to the Bucks. Went on the road, had 46. Then went back home for Boston game 7. No one wants to play in Boston game 7. They handled the Bucks. I think they do the same this year. Big Jason Tatum road game. Empties the clip in Philly for game 6. Head back to Boston. Wrap this thing up. Move it along. Take care of whoever's next. We'll see whoever in the NBA Finals. A Lakers-Celtics NBA Finals would not be the worst thing, though I have a prediction, and that prediction is that these Golden State Warriors, will come back from this 3-1 deficit. Game 5 is a lock in Golden State. They're not going to lose that. Then it all comes down to winning game 6 in LA, which I think they can do. They got that championship pedigree. They know what it takes. They've seen it all. They know the sense of urgency that has to be had. And then they head back to game 7. Anything can happen. They owe LeBron from last time going down 3-1 and losing. This would be the revenge, and this would erase the pain and the agony of losing that 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2016 finals. I think it all comes full circle and it's storybook. But by the looks of it, the Lakers do have a commanding 3-1 lead. I just don't think it's all that commanding, but we'll find out. Other news, not too much else going on. Just trying to figure out how we want to approach this brand for the summer. Obviously, we're hitting a crossroads a bit. I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, very part-time, and kind of steady growth, but nothing too substantial. And we need to strategize and figure out how this can reach more people, how we do that effectively, who we want to target, especially, and who we can get on board to hopefully help grow it. But those are all, again, good problems to have. Never hurt anybody. So, but MTD to Mercury, we're going to keep trending upwards. That is the plan. We have a ways to go. And what I realize is when you hear people talk about, you hear the concepts articulate a lot of, oh, you got to embrace being out of your comfort zone. You have to fail many times before you see growth, and you hear all these things and they make sense. They're pretty simple concepts. They all easy to understand, and you're like, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got to fail to have success. You trial and error. You got to be willing to put yourself out there, put yourself in miracle territory, as Eric Thomas coins it in his book, Miracle Territory. Put yourself in a space where you give yourself a chance to make a miracle happen. And when you can then figure out those moments when they're happening, when you're out of your comfort zone, when you can then pinpoint, okay, this is that concept they talk about. Oh, you got to be willing to step out of your comfort zone to see growth. Okay. Well, here I am out of my comfort zone to see growth, especially with MTD. We need to step out of it. And when you're out of it, you need to keep yourself out of it. Did a pop-up shop at UMass Amherst about a month ago. Did another one at Emerson 2 weeks ago. And that, to me, that's like being out of the comfort zone, because you're vulnerable. People walk by, or they don't want something, or they ignore your table. But then you get those people who do come over and they're interested and they want to hear about it, or they want to buy something. And that makes it so worth it. That feeling is worth facing and embracing the discomfort alone. So being able to recognize when those moments are happening in the moment and say, okay, this is that concept people talk about of, oh, outside your comfort zone. It's very cliche. Okay, this is it. This is where it is pertinent in my life. So now let me embrace it while it's happening, rather than letting the discomfort shrivel me up and make me a shell of myself. Let me lean in and embrace it. So to me, that is what this summer is going to be about for MTD, for myself, and hopefully for others as well. And obviously figuring out the golf swing too, because I got to figure out that golf swinger. It is going to be a bit of a boring summer because I need to get on that golf course. And if I'm on that golf course, I need to be playing some good golf. Okay. I can't be going out there just double bogeying every hole. It just ain't happening. So that golf swing needs to get in the lab. I need to get in the lab with myself, the self-improvement lab, and just keep growing, baby. Elevation. Good to talk to you folks. Hope you enjoyed this episode just with me. We're going to have guests back on the pod, CMAC back on the pod. See you folks soon. Take care.